For God, you are more than enough. More than enough. I've never been more loved than I am right now. Wasn't holding you up, so there's nothing I can do to let you down. It doesn't take a trophy to make you proud. I'll never be more loved than I am right now. Yeah, going through a storm, but I won't go down. I can hear your voice carried in the rhythm of the wind to pull me out. You will cross the ocean, so I wouldn't drown. You've never been closer than you are right now.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is, of course, Pastor Brooks with our Pastor's Perspective. I have something that has been on my heart for a while that I pray that you will take seriously. I'm looking at the 5th chapter of the book of Mark. In the 4th chapter, the disciples are on a boat on the Sea of Galilee when a storm arises. Jesus wakes up and he stills the storm. Simple words. Peace, be still. Now, what's important is at the end of the 4th chapter, the disciples ask themselves, or amongst themselves, what manner of man is this, that even the winds and the waves obey him? They end up on the coast of a place called the Gadarenes. As a matter of fact, to be more specific, they find themselves dealing with a man with an unclean spirit. Really, it's Jesus, who already knows that he's going to meet with the man. Now, this man has been chained up. He has been, for lack of a better word, he has been incarcerated. Rather than invest in the man's improving well-being, they decide to institutionalize him. Now, what I love is that this man is approached by Jesus in a state that many of us would have avoided. He would be, and I don't like to use this word, he would be determined to be a crazy man. He's out of his mind. But Jesus is involved in this man's lifestyle improving. He is not concerned about what the man is wearing. He's not concerned about the fact that he is in a place that is determined to be unclean, the tombs, where Jews would not venture. But Jesus goes to him. It's Evangelism 101 in tombs with a man who could be intimidating if the Spirit of God is not working through the Savior. So many times we get so caught up in the externals that we neglect to minister to the mental, emotional, and spiritual needs of the people. And so we push them away because they don't come to us in a way that we see as fitting. I'm concerned that the church sometimes can devolve into a social circle. The fact is, we need to begin concentrating on feeding the needs of people who have been ostracized, minimized by society. Jesus gives us a prime example of what needed to happen. He has conversation with the man. He involves himself in the situation that the man finds himself in. The man doesn't even know his own name. When asked, he says, my name is Legion because we're many. This man is completely possessed, but that does not intimidate Jesus. Jesus deals with the man. Now, here's the rub. When the townspeople who have, again, institutionalized the man see him, they're intimidated by the level of improvement in the lifestyle of the man. It says that they found him sitting obediently with conduct like he had never displayed before, sitting, clothed, and in his right mind. Doesn't say what manner of clothing it has on, but I think that what's most important is what we see at the end of that equation. He's sitting, he's clothed, but he's in his right mind. Why is this man in his right mind? Because Jesus does not look down upon the man in the beginning, because all he has on is chains, maybe rags. But that is not what determines the level of commitment Jesus has to the sinner. And all of us have been in a place where, at least by, I would say, we could analyze our own situation and say that when we met Jesus, we were not all that we wanted to be or that we are right now. But rather than concentrate on the externals, Jesus saw something in this man that he didn't even see in himself. And the townspeople are completely blown away by what they now see. I'm praying that we represent Jesus, that we use the Jesus model, the Jesus paradigm, when people come to us or when we approach people, and have enough patience and love and compassion for those who have gone through struggles. You know, we can be dressed up. You know, we just came through Halloween and people have dressed up in ways. And, you know, and my prayer is that the masquerade of ministry, the masquerade of church would fall away, and that we would approach people in an authentic way. The struggle is when we marginalize people who are in need of meaningful ministry. And so I want to share with you today, come in close, because what I'm going to say is going to impact your life and lives of others, is recognize that he will have us do ministry in places that are uncomfortable. But if we recognize that God doesn't make mistakes and that he sends us into the lives of people who don't find value in their own existence. Family, we were all created in the imago Dei, the image of God. Even this man who found his residence in tombs was created in the image of God. Don't care whether they come addicted to drugs, alcohol. I don't care whether they are dealing with the specter of being treated as less than. The church is not in place to judge anybody. So let's be very careful of how we treat the souls that God has given us to minister to. Family, I believe that God has sent you with a prime purpose to invest in the lives of people who have been hurting and hurt by folks even in pews who have forgotten where God has brought us from. Listen, everybody, this has been your pastor's perspective. I'm Pastor Brooks, and my prayer is that you know that you have providential purpose to help somebody see what they can be. Remember where God has brought you from, and I know you can say, he's brought me a mighty long way. Listen, God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Make sure no matter what you do, you get yourself into corporate worship, because maybe somebody is going to walk into that church for the first time, like this demoniac in the Gadarene tombs, and you will impact how the rest of their life is spent. Salvation, or do they continue to walk in sickness? It's your job. It is a charge that we have from Jesus himself. Peace and blessings to you from the office of Pastor Harold Brooks Jr.
Every sparrow. One more time. If he watches every sparrow, how much more? How much more? How